Welcome everybody to your second video lesson here at Crypto Royalty. Now, in today's video, what we're going to be covering is what I had actually sent out to one of my crypto member group chats. Now, in this group chat I'd sent out, this is the one that you guys obviously have access to, and also there's a second one. That one actually filled up a lot. We have thousands of students in there, so I decided to make another one just to keep things organized a little bit. And but anyways, that's enough on that. Let's get back to the video. So, Ethereum. ETH on the daily time frame. I sent out a picture that looked exactly like this. I said that we were coming to a range of consolidation, and I said that what was being formed was a triangular breakout pattern. Now, this is I'll tell you guys. I'll show you exactly how I figured that this was going to be formed, how I determined whether or not what was going to happen in the price. I said that Ethereum is either going to break out of this range, or it's gonna break out immediately and very sharply, or it's going to come down and we're going to see a range of consolidation continuing. And I'll show you guys, I said that right here. I said Ether needs to see a break out of this region slash zone in order for it to be back on its bull run or even be considered bullish. If not, and it's rejected, we shall expect a downside level of $510 to $530 next. So that was pretty much my expectation for Ether, and today this was exactly what happened. I'll show you guys actually the live chart. We don't need to see the Telegram anymore. So we're at $783 today. We broke out perfectly from the level that I had laid out. And how did I know this? I'll show you guys exactly how I figured this out. Well, if I pull out and how you can do the same. So figuring that as today's video is going to be talking about technical analysis. Technical analysis is something very important in the cryptocurrency market. A lot of people believe that you could draw all the fancy pictures you like on your charts. It's really not going to determine price, but I believe otherwise. I believe that it has a big effect on the price and where price. It gives a big indication of where price is headed. So if I pull up my drawing board here or my tools and I select the trend lines, what I would do is first off actually go to a higher time frame, the weekly time frame. And what I'm going to see here is that we are first I have to determine a trend. I have to recognize a trend. We are obviously in an uptrend. What we call this is a level being formed. So all we do is we will take our drawing tool, our trend line, and actually let me fix this, make it black, make it solid, all right, and make it undotted. Perfect. So here, let me do that again. So what we saw with Ether's price was that it jumped up and then it came immediately down. And why did it stop here? It stopped here because it didn't continue to go further down, because this is what we call a support level. Support is what obviously, hence its name, supports the price. So once we hit the support, we continued upwards we went from $6 to approximately $330 per coin. Now that was a humongous surge to the upside, meaning the price went very, very high very quickly. Now, what happened when the price came down? Why did we not come all the way back down to $6 or even less? Well, along the way we saw these little red candles, and these were laying out against support levels for the price of Ethereum. And we could draw this out to make it even more visual for you guys. And what we saw was the price being supported continuously by buyers. This meant that there was more buyers in the market than there were sellers, because they were pushing the price up higher. By buying, prices immediately pushed higher. So let me draw out the final level of support. We saw price come all the way here and then it came down. Why did it not go past this level? Because again, we formed support. Now, is there a reason behind this that I probably don't know about? Yes, very well. But three things that really have a big factor on support is: one, fundamentals, meaning what's going on with Ether. Is there a big ban in Ether? If there was a ban in Ether in a certain particular country like China, the price would have immediately broke through this support level and came down and tested this one, and probably broke through this one and tested this, and then maybe came back up. But there was probably positive news. The media was hyping it up, and people were continuously buying Ether. There was more buyers than sellers, so we saw a level of support. Now, what pushed the price down just a little bit? People who bought down here and sold some of their Ether to take profit. That's the second reason. Those were the people that pushed the price down a little bit, because they sold here, and but they started buying again. And people started buying again. They pushed the price up even higher, and again, we'll draw another level of support. And the same thing happened over and over and over again. And now we are actually still in an uptrend, because we have not broken any of the previous supports. meaning we have not, the price, even though it came down a little bit from 1,300 all the way down to $400. It may seem like a lot when we look at the price, but percentage wise, we've gone from $260 to 1,000. That's a mere 400% gain, and we've seen drops that are only 70%, which is really nothing compared to a 400% gain. So we're still approximately, I would say, 330% still in profit. And all this was, it was a small correction, and now the support level tells us there's still more buyers than sellers in the market, and that the price is being pushed off even more. And all this little push to the downside was, or a little fall in price, all this was people who had bought down here selling off and taking their profit. Now people are continually buying more and more and pushing the price up even higher. Now that we have identified exactly that we were still in an uptrend, we have to identify an uptrend angle or an uptrend trend line. So we would find the lowest point in the market and actually draw a trend line from that bottom point all the way to a point where the price is retraced or fallen down to. So the lowest pretty much it's gone down to was here from here. So meaning the only reason I didn't draw it like this was because it's not current anymore. That would have been a broken trend line, and it's not current pretty much anymore. So why did I draw it here? It's pretty much because that is the only place that the price touches alongside rather than here. These are pretty much the two major, most significant levels that we have as of right now in Ether. So, and the reason I'm using Ether and not Bitcoin is because I just completely deleted all of my drawings and all of my analysis, technical analysis, and trend lines and everything, to start from scratch to show you guys exactly my thinking process of how I determined, how I determined that the price was going to break through in my last night call. So now what we do is, if we think that the price is going down, what we do is go from the highest point and draw it to the current price, right? And that would have been last night, it would have been around here. So what did this tell me? This told me that the price had, if we go down now to the daily time frame, this told me that the price had two places to go, either up, either down. And what we saw here was what I like to call a type 2 closure of candles. That means when the wick of the candle hits, is above the line, but the candle body actually closes exactly on the trend line. Now, what does that mean? That means that this trend line actually has some significance. So either we broke through it, I said it was going to either go to the upside or it either was going to go to the downside, and I gave you guys my downside targets. So it's as simple as that. And the 200-day moving average was showing resistance, but what that tended to be was manipulation, and everybody that was selling off because they were scared that the 200-day moving average was going to resist the price and push it down further to the 520, 530 range, like I said, or 510 or 530, whatever it was that I predicted. Those guys were the ones who got stomped out, and all the big players pretty much bought, and those are the guys that manipulated the price to go up and pushed it even further. And now we know we're back on the bullish run. So once this candle closes up here, if we close above this line, this is going to be irrelevant. I can't even talk. I'm butchering all my words today. I apologize, guys. But this line would have been irrelevant. And once we close this candle, we need to see a support or a test of that line as support, and then we're going to be back on our bull run. So that's exactly how I determined where the price was headed. And now, how do you know if there is a particular support region that you should be looking out for? Well, you would identify a place in the market where the price was actually rejected multiple times, meaning where has the price, how do I put this? Where has the price failed to go lower? But it has attempted to go lower, but it's failed to go lower multiple times, and that's exactly what the levels that we want to identify. Here, we've seen that the price actually has failed to go lower. It's failed to go lower, and we've showed resistance or support, rather. We've shown support here, and we knew just from this pretty much that one trend line could have just told us that the price was going to break through and go higher. So that's one trend line, or one market level, you could call it, because it's not really a trend line. We've seen support here again. This was a major level of support because it was closing. The candles were on the candle body. That's how they're closing out. That's a very significant candle closure. That's called a type 2. And we saw that the price was being pushed up. So that immediately should have told us that this was going to be breaking out. Also, we have some tremendous market support here, and that's why I drew that line there. But now that we're coming from below it, could it possibly test as resistance? Meaning, could it push the price down? So that's what we have to watch out for. But if we close above this market level here, that's when we're going to know we're back on the bull run. Like I said, guys. So I hope you guys found this video useful. If you have any questions, if you didn't, understand a few things that I've said here or there, or maybe you didn't understand anything that I said, go ahead, give me an email. I'll answer you within 24 hours, and I'll try to help you out as much as possible. And also, if obviously all you guys are in the Telegram chat. Go ahead and if you want to email me, Telegram me. Uh, and that's a guarantee that I'll personally get back to you. Sometimes with emails, one of my team members is going to probably get back to you. But if you Telegram me, I'll definitely personally get back to you and I'll answer all your questions. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for the next one. And just remember this, that market trends and pretty much technical analysis is very important in determining where the price could potentially be going, but it's not the only way of doing it, and it's not the most important way. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.